It was such a big deal in the 1970s specifically that the FBI actually opened a file on Bigfoot so that they could investigate whether or not he...
And usually this happens in the countryside. People would put the embryo of the child inside a kind of doll. It kind of looks like a Russian doll thing. And they would close it, they would seal it, and then they would pray to it, create like a shrine for it, pray to it, give it food.
Remus was killed by his brother after attempting to jump over a wall that Romulus had built. Romulus then became the first king of the city.
Hi! Okay, so first episode, isn't this exciting, Misha?
This is so exciting.
Alright, so let's introduce ourselves because you guys probably don't know who we are.
Yeah.
My name is Fanan, I'm Vietnamese. I am a newbie in the DP life and I'm currently in grade 11. How about you, Misha?
I am Misha and I'm also new, and I know it's kind of weird for new students to be starting a podcast already.
That's true,
But yeah, we hope to know the school much more through this club that we formed, and we've already gotten to doing that because we already found lots of new people and they all have such interesting ideas.
Yes, they do. Okay, so what will our first episode be? Because don't you think the first episode of a podcast kind of sets the whole tone for
It does.
the whole series, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of like the pilot episode for a sitcom.
The pressure was on you guys.
Yes. Oh my god. All right. So what we were thinking, we and the team were thinking, what is the perfect way to introduce our podcast to you guys? And what better way is it to do that by introducing our members and their little cultural stories. All right, so tell us more about what this episode is about, Misha.
Okay, so we have all of our team members. We have different team members who are doing different parts that are contributing to the club. So we have an HR, we have a content creator, we have a writer, we have a host, we also have an editor. So these little bits of our club, they make up our podcast team. And for the first episode, we just wanted to show you guys we wanted to showcase these people to you guys.
Yes, because we are in an international school, so we have people from all different kind of cultures, and basically we want to hear about their stories. We have people from the Big Apple, New York City. We have people from Canada, from Vietnam, from India, and even from
Thailand.
Yes. I forgot the most important one.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, in this episode, these people will share stories about their little cultural eccentricities or their little things that they might think is interesting about their culture that you guys might not know about.
That's about what we're doing for this episode. So stay tuned for more. Also, the next episodes that we're gonna have are going to be about different topics. We're gonna be interviewing lots of different people. We have like advice columns, so we can interact with our listeners. Also, we'll also have some KIS oriented segments. We hope you guys enjoy the first episode.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so as you may know, my name is Vanan. Something you may not know is that I am Vietnamese. And in Vietnam, we have this really weird cultural ritualistic thing that I've only recently come across. But basically, when a child unfortunately dies young, people, and usually this happens in the countryside, people would put the embryo of the child inside a kind of doll. It kind of looks like a Russian doll thing, and they would close it, they would seal it, and then they would pray to it, create like a shrine for it, pray to it, give it food, and take care of it like a real baby. The reason they do this is because, and this is what I've heard, but I'm not sure if it's true or not, but it's because they want to apologize to the baby, to say that, oh, I'm sorry that I didn't give you the life you want, or like your life is too short. But the other reason is because if you don't create a shrine and you don't pray to the baby, it can haunt you and give you really bad luck. Now, I don't know if this is true or if this is a huge superstition in Vietnam, but when I went to one of my friend's house, a relative of my friend's house in the countryside, they actually do this and they told me about it, and I was so creeped out about it. So I'm not sure what you guys think or if your country has a ritual that's similar to this. Anyways, yeah, that's my story.
Alright, well, my name is Caden, or my full name is Caden Mahanta Taves. It's derived from both my father and my mother. My Taves is from my father's last name. Mahanta is my mother's middle name. I inherited it from both of them. That's besides the point, right? This is meant to be about my country. I'm from Canada. I'm actually half Thai, half Canadian. Even though I never lived in Canada, I still say I am Canadian, mostly part of the fact that I speak mainly English. Even though I've never really researched about Canada, I do know some facts from my father, who won't stop showing me food videos from Canada, I swear. But I'm getting off topic. There's an interesting fact, since Canada isn't actually the real name of Canada, or it's deprived from a French version of it. Before Canada was, as it is now, back then, whenever the New World was still being discovered by that famous Christopher Columbus guy who basically massacred the entire population, but whatever. When the French went over to Canada, it wasn't the Spanish that colonized Canada, it was the French, since whenever Christopher Columbus first found out about this new world, all the other countries flocked over this new island. The French was one of them. There's this guy named Francis. He was the first person to, colonize over. It's part of the reason why most people in Canada speak French, half English. And when he first came out, the first tribe that he found was this tribe called Kanata. And because of his lingo, he assumed that it was actually called Canada. That's why it's called Canada now. Its real name was Kanata from his tribe. And I mean, that's pretty much all this guy did. He found his new country, found his tribe, and then picked up quartz thinking it was diamonds, brought to the king, and got his, he was embarrassed when he came back, to say the least.
Hello, my name is Clara. I'm in grade 11, and I am from the United States, although I haven't actually lived there since I was 5 years old, so I'm kind of somewhat of an outsider, but I am from the Northwest, and an interesting thing, or an interesting myth that comes from the Northwest area of the United States is Bigfoot. And I don't believe in Bigfoot, although especially as a kid, I really enjoyed watching videos where it'd be like, top 10 facts about Bigfoot that prove his existence is real. One thing, though, that I think is especially interesting about this is that it was such a big deal in the 1970s specifically that the FBI actually opened a file on Bigfoot so that they could investigate whether or not he was real. And they looked at fur samples and footprints and first-person accounts and stuff. And of course they concluded that yes, he is not real, but I just think it's kind of funny and awesome that it got to the level that the FBI was like, okay, we've got to check this out, we have to know. But yeah, the myth of Bigfoot started, I think, in the 1800s, and it's kind of somewhat of a universal or worldwide type of myth, because even in the Himalayas, there's the Yeti, and Bigfoot himself goes by different names. And although I don't believe in him, I do like to believe that maybe there's something out there that we don't know about yet. So that is me, and that is my story. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I am Janya and I'm from grade 11, also a member of the podcast club, and I am an Indian. So you guys must know about the game Snakes and Ladders. You must have played it when you were younger. So this game is actually invented in India, which is now sold across the world, which roots back to India. It was first created to teach morals and lessons about karma. Okay, so people who don't know about karma is basically Newton's third law. It is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That could be a proper definition of karma. In a way, this game is basically to teach young children that if you do good things, you're gonna get rewards in life. And if you do bad things, you're gonna come down and you will be punished for it. So every good thing is a ladder, and every bad thing is a snake. So you come down by the snake. So this helps young children to understand what is good and bad in this world. So that was my story. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Jonah, and I will be telling you about the founding of Rome. The legend started around the 4th century BCE and states that there were these twin brothers named Romulus and Remus. They were demigod sons of the god Mars, who is the Roman counterpart to the Greek god Ares, the god of war. The brothers were abandoned at birth and left by the river Tiber. They were then rescued by the she-wolf Lupa, and they were taken and raised by a shepherd. When they were adults, they decided to build a city to honor Lupa on the hill that she rescued them from. Unfortunately, they had many disagreements surrounding the city limits and control over it. Eventually, Remus was killed by his brother after attempting to jump over a wall that Romulus had built. Romulus then became the first king of the city, in which he named Rome after himself.
Hello, I'm Pai Pai from grade 10, and I'm Thai. I'm also Chinese, but I'm going to be talking about Thai culture, even though I think a lot of people have already learned it from Thai studies. One thing that I found interesting was the year, because in Thai year it's actually way different from US, how it's 2022 right now, but in Thailand it's 2565, and that's 543 years ahead to be precise. This is actually because Thailand is heavy in Buddhism, and Buddhist culture is really it's seen in around 90 to 95% of Thai people. And the year that Buddha died and entered Nirvana was actually believed to be 543 BC. So that's why in Thailand, the year 2022 is the year 2565. And everything in Thai IDs or even dates on our MacBook computer is shown as 2565. And I think that's interesting because, when foreigners see the date, right, they won't actually know what year it is. It's hard to detect because they don't know. I think many people, when they see the year 2565, they don't even know it's a year. They actually think it's just some kind of number that's there and there's no clear purpose. But I think it's interesting how the culture is heavily reliant on Buddhism, because I'm also Buddhist myself. And there's a selective few Thai people who are Christian. Some of my friends are Christian, but overall Buddhism is really heavily emphasized in the culture. Thank you.
So my name is Pruek and I'm fully Thai. I have Chinese descendants, but I've lived in Thailand pretty much my whole life. One thing I found interesting growing up in Thailand is that there's an event called Songkran where people come together to celebrate as a community, and using water as the means of expression, it represents love, compassion, and thankfulness. And people come together in order to play and do many things in order to show compassion for each other. And this is also a day in which everyone in Thailand unites as one. And then it's also an event that's celebrated every year, so it's quite famous in Thailand. But recently, around 2 years ago, the Thai government banned Songkran from happening. So no one was able to participate in the event because of COVID-19, and they had protocols in order to prevent the spread of the virus. But recently, the government unbanned this policy, and Songkran most likely would take place this year again, which is a really good thing. And I think it's kind of reasonable that they banned Songkran in the first place because of the virus. But still, they should have allowed it a bit more in between families, because some people want to respect their beliefs and stuff.
Wow, so that was really interesting, isn't it?
That was really interesting. I'm mind blown by the fact that Thailand is running 253 years ahead of time, because, oh my god, I did not know that. And I'm so glad I finally figured it out.
Yes, when I first moved to Thailand, that was one of the most confusing things I've experienced. Yeah, anyways, moving forward, our next episode will be about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's gonna be in line with Halloween coming up, so please be sure to check that out. Our episodes come out every single bi-weekly Saturday, so that's alternate Saturdays. So yeah, be sure to check that out.
Right, so we're signing off from yours truly,
Misha and
Vanan.
yay!